I think one to address the Juwan Howard situation. I think for Juwan, I think people got to understand. I don't think it's about his sons. I think it's about a dream job. He's living a dream right now. He's coaching his alma mater, and it's tough to leave that to go to a Lakers situation with LeBron James being at the end of his career and the second best player, Anthony Davis, on the team hasn't played a full season. I don't think you would want to do that because that could be a job that ends in 3 years. Where in Michigan, he could probably be there the next 15 years. So I think that's what he's looking at, the long-term situation of that. And Juwan's done a terrific job at Michigan. I think moving forward, I hate when I hear the same coaches being recycled, and you guys have heard me say that a lot. And that's not a knock on Terry Stotts and say he shouldn't get another chance, and Kenny Atkinson, those guys. But I would like to see Darvin Ham get this job. I think he's a guy that's coached the best player in the world the last couple of years in Giannis, and we've kind of given him that title as being the best player in the league. He's coached him. They've won an NBA title. And guys have a lot of respect for him in the league. I think that's what people got to understand. I think LeBron James and AD would respond to a Darvin Ham. So I don't know what's the holdup because we always want to recycle the same coaches and put them back in play and not give another young coach an opportunity to coach in this league. And that's the thing that bothers me so much about, especially like the Lakers. You tried all those guys. Give a guy a chance, opportunity. It's obviously he's in the finals list, so he's impressed you. But give him a chance. And, I don't know if this is a situation where LeBron James or AD have to sign off on it, but I hope Darvin Ham gets an opportunity to do it. I'm just tired of the recycling of the same coaches. Let's get some of these new coaches and new players an opportunity to coach some of these franchises.
I agree with a lot of what Antoine said. Of the names on that list, Darvin Ham, to me, would clearly be number one. I also think Kenny Atkinson did a really good job in Brooklyn, but that was like a young, upstart team, very different coaching LeBron and Anthony Davis, and I don't have much interest in Terry Stotts. I suppose he's better than if Doc Rivers were, still an alleged candidate. But the issue, Wilds, while Frank Vogel didn't do a good job this past year with the Lakers, when you're looking at the Lakers, and I saw this question, it was just it resonated even further that the guy who should have been fired didn't get fired in Rob Pelinka. Because you watch these conference finals, Wilds, and all these teams have young athletic wings and have shooters. And then there's the Lakers. Their best wing, we can go you or whoever you want to go, Brew. You can go. Their best wing is going to be in year 20. Like their most athletic wing is going to be in year 20. Who's the best shooter? My guy Wayne Ellington, who didn't even play because he doesn't do anything else well. And so I look at the West next year. And I'm going to do this off the top of my head, but I think it's right. I think we can assume Phoenix, Golden State, Dallas, Denver, and the Clippers will all be excellent. Phoenix might not be as good as they were this year, but they'll still be excellent. Dallas is young and getting better. We'll see what they do with Jalen. Denver and the Clippers both have major injured players coming back, right? You also have to assume, I think, New Orleans and Minnesota are on the upswing. Well, I've listed 7 teams. So do I think the Lakers are going to be in playoff contention next year? Yes, of course. If LeBron and AD play anything close to a full season, they'll be a playoff team. But they don't. Remember that press conference LeBron gave after Milwaukee waxed them? And he was like, yeah, I could have told you we weren't on their level before this game. I don't see how and why that's changing. And I don't think it's changing anytime soon, bro.
Yeah, look, I'll make it a trifecta. I do think Darvin Ham, of the 3 last candidates they have, he should be the guy. No doubt about it. And you know him, Twan. I know him from when he played in the league. He's got a really strong presence. Guys will respect him, no doubt about it. Championship staff, obviously, in Milwaukee. But, Nick, I agree. Like, we all have talked about Russell Westbrook. And, yes, if I'm running the Lakers, I'm trying to get rid of Russ. But whether I can or can't, I've still got to bring in some young guys with fresh legs who can guard. One thing we see is the final 4 teams left in the playoffs right now, they were all in the top 6 defensively. The Lakers were in the bottom 10th, like 21st out of 30 teams defensively. I'm surprised it was even that high. All right, they cannot guard because they got so many older guys. So they got to get youth. And I'm not talking about great players. I mean, heck, you saw the impact Stanley Johnson had just because he's young and could actually, if he put his mind to it, stay in front of somebody. So they got to get young players, whether they're great or not, that can go out there and defend. All right. And then you've got to add some shooters as well. So maybe in the Russ trade, can you get some of that? We'll see. But no matter who the coach is, the keys for them is AD playing 70-plus games or 70 or so games and being healthy going into the playoffs, LeBron healthy in the playoffs, and then youth and shooting around them, Wilds.
All right, so I think that's a good take. I agree. If Darvin Ham becomes the coach, I think that is a good for him, and the Lakers are probably better off than they were this year. But Max Kellerman had a take, it was weeks ago, that has sat with me and sat and grown. And I was like, you know what, Max? You're right. LeBron James should be a player coach. And this idea has been dismissed. Like my goodness.
So.
Okay. The attitude towards LeBron James being the head coach of the Lakers should not be the same attitude as LeBron James being a heart surgeon or LeBron James being a pilot. Like, hey, LeBron James, bad news, the pilot's, had a heart attack. LeBron, can you fly the plane? Probably not. Oh, LeBron, can you have intestinal surgery? Can LeBron do it? Probably not. Can LeBron coach the Lakers? Of course he can. There's been 40 player coaches in the history of the league. It can certainly be 41. Bill Russell won 2 championships. Can he be the mold for LeBron? Of course. Lenny Wilkins did it. Dave DeBusschere did it. Dave Cowens did it in 1978. Not 1878, 1978 Dave Cowens did it.
70s.
It's not. It's the same thing. What, the basketball? They were peach baskets.
Wild.
It's the same game.
Wait a minute.
It's the same game. No, let me finish. Let me finish. And I understand the idea. Oh, the game is so complicated now. Surely LeBron couldn't figure it out. He's a genius. Of course he can figure it out. And he already has figured it out. So the head coach that you have in there right now, or at any point, is largely a figurehead that because LeBron is running the show. Of course he could do it. With an army of assistants, it would make his job almost easier.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.